Hey guys, Jack here, and today we're going to be doing my first ever race in the LMP2 hoppers, and I'm going to give you everything you need to know about this hopper for the upcoming week. So right now we're in the Oreca 07, which is hands down by far the best car in the hopper. Now, is it surprising that the best car in the hopper is once again a DLC car? No, it is not. But if you'd like to give this car a go, which is the fastest, I will have my tune at the end of the video if you guys want to check it out. If you want to use the second fastest car, I have a tune shared for that as well, and that is the Mazda Lola. The car is significantly faster on the straights, but it is tricky to drive as it is a 2-liter diesel with a massive turbocharger. So it has a very, very small power band, and it really comes on very strong, so you need to make sure you're ready for that. Now, in this race, it's clear that a lot of people are not used to these cars yet. So I had just done a league race, or a pop-up race on Friday night, and if you guys are interested in joining that, please hop in the Discord. But we did a multi-class race here on Kailami with the Oreca 07, the Acura ARX5 is the prototypes, and then we used our BOP that P1R Turk uses for the GT builds. So we had a good race on that, and that video will be out shortly. But moving on to the next best cars, you have the Ford and the Chevy Daytona prototype. They've got some decent straight line speed compared to this, but they're very, very heavy, and they just do not have enough of a straight line advantage to make it worthwhile. And you're really going to be struggling to win in one of those. If you can win in the Daytona prototypes, that is a very, very impressive job. Now, what's happening in the video is I realized I had a very big lead very, very early on. So I decided to make a 2-stop race and just go with soft tires and just go flat out as fast as we can for the rest of the race. Try and make it a little bit more entertaining, because we ended up pulling a very large gap right away, straight from the start. So we're gonna come right back onto the field, and we're 5th place, not too bad, and 6th place is gonna go right by us. We just gotta try and make sure we can hold off as much ground as we can to make sure this works. So we're gonna just dip around the outside of this Daytona prototype because it has no cornering ability, but he's gonna try and sneak back by, but you're gonna see the downforce advantage. We're just gonna drive right by him like he's standing still. And after 2 corners, he's not even an issue anymore. So moving on to the next car, we're trying to pass. We have a good run. We're definitely faster than everyone in the lobby, and we have better tires than everyone on the lobby right now. So these lobbies will get a little bit more competitive the longer the run goes. As people get used to driving these types of cars, they have very high levels of downforce and very good cornering ability, but they aren't very fast on the straights. Daytona prototypes, they drive a little bit more like a heavy GT car, and if you decide to use the Chevy FML09, the open top prototype, best of luck to you. That car is just not worth it. If you win in that, congratulations. So the Oreca 07 is by far the best car, followed by the Mazda. It's a little bit slower on the straights, tricky to drive, but it's very, very fast in the corners. Then you have your Daytona prototypes, which I would only really touch if you're on a track with very, very long straights. So back into this battle, we are going to try and see if we can get by both of these guys in one fell swoop. They've got all the aero wash on them in the world, so we're going to try and see if we can get a good run on corner exit, but he's going to try that, and he's going to get a good run. So we're going to hop into the draft nice and early and see if we can make up some more ground and try and get back by these guys and see if we can pass the leader before he makes his first pit stop. So we're going on the inside right now. It's mainly just because I want to be able to see the lap lines. Unfortunately, I've been having to take some medication. It makes me vision a little bit blurry. So the extra lines have been helpful recently. So we're trying to continue the forward progress, try and make a move up the inside, but we just didn't have a big enough run. The draft isn't as strong as it used to be. And one thing to keep an eye on is December 14th. In the next update, they're going to address the aero wash. So I don't know if they're going to make it worse again. I don't know if they're going to make it better. I don't know if they're going to make the draft better or the draft worse. They did adjust the draft the last time we went. with an update. So it's going to be interesting to see which direction that goes. So keep an eye out on the 14th. We will be having a league race that day. So you'll be able to see the effects live 9 p.m. Eastern if you're interested in that. So we're making a good amount of ground up. We're still going to have to pit one more time. So we've already gained a pit stop worth on these guys. So we're going to try and make a nice little move here. So we're going to chop immediately out to his outside, wait till the last second, and then we're going to dive right onto the inside. We took it a little bit more shallow than I would have liked. I was a little bit too aggressive with it, but we're going to be able to maintain the outside line here, and he knows he doesn't have a good enough line, so we're going to just full send it through that corner as the other cars pit. We're going to go ahead and try and catch up to this next guy before we hop into the pits for our next pit stop. So moving ahead, we've started to catch up, and we are really starting to run some good lines with this car now. So I'm feeling pretty confident in it. I did do an endurance race at night in this car, literally the day before, so I'm kind of feeling it. I can see he's starting to feel the pressure. He's on hard tires too, so I'm just choosing to send it here. He's struggling. I'm just going full send, and we're going to finish that pass. So that one felt pretty darn good. So we're just going to go ahead, skip that again to the next pit stop. And unfortunately, when we make this next pit stop, we actually came out ahead of second place already. So there really isn't too much more to show you guys, unfortunately, in our first race. But I will be attempting to get a race win in a Mazda. I was very close to getting that done earlier today, but unfortunately making a move for first place, I got spun out, and I'll probably put that crash out as a short. It was a little disappointing, but we come back out, we're fully in the lead, so we're just going to see how fast we can really go for the end of the race. So time to put our foot down and just see how fast we can really push this car. So we're going to skip ahead all the way to the last lap, where we try and see what can this car really be capable of. So we go into turn one, nice entrance, try and keep the speed up, not bog the car on the corner exit. I am using traction control on sport in this car just for a little bit more consistency, really hopping up and monster trucking that curb, taking as much as you can, and we see we are already up in the green by a large amount. So I'm just going to let this lap continue to play out. But once again, the tier list for this series is going to be the Oreca 07. But if you're using the Oreca, it's kind of like using the Volkswagen Golf and touring car. You're obviously in the best car, and you're going to be expected to win, and I'm going to smack talk you if you get beat by me in a Mazda. So the Mazda, I highly recommend giving it a go. I recommend downloading a tune that is shared for it, because it is a tricky car to really get right, but once you get it right, it's really good. So I'm going to have a video coming up shortly for the Mazda, and I'll share the numbers for that tune. Right now it's just shared publicly, but as we come up, we make an extra pit stop because we wanted to make it a little bit more interesting, but we still come away with the win. We're way up on this lap time, and we really finished out this race strong. But you can see, like, there's a big difference in this lobby, because I had literally just done a lot of practice in this car, and most people haven't touched this car yet. Now, if you stay till the end of the video, I want to thank you. So if you watch right now, I'm going to have my tune up for you guys. If you want to write down the numbers, put them in, try them, experiment with these numbers, use these as a benchmark, and see what you can do in this car. So thanks again for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. The Discord link is down below. Please join that if you're interested in joining us in private endurance races. Thank you guys, and see you next time.